Round one. Fight.
Heroes never die.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Power, sex, power. They both come down to one thing.
Hungry gamers.
Howdy folks, welcome to episode 141 of The Hungry Gamers, powered by 8-Bit and Audio-Technica, and a proud card-carrying member of the 8-Bit network. I am your host today, Saleem the Dream, and I'm joined, of course, by my favourite co-host, the one, the only Miss Ali Hart. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How have you been?
I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. It's been a week.
It has been a week,
as we'll jump into in a moment. Of course, Brendan is not here today. I believe Brendan is out hunting game in the wild. He's after that elk meat. Big Joe Rogan fan. I actually have no idea where he is, but he gave us about 3 months notice that he would not be able to make today.
and we still weren't ready.
And we still kind of weren't ready.
No, we were fine. No, Brendan's off doing his thing, to being a businessman, running the 8-Bit network as he does. So he's left the kids in charge of the podcast today, and is probably worried sick.
This is like that moment as a parent, as a kid, where you're swimming at the beach, and you're like, who can get the furthest out to the ocean?
Bet you I can beat you to that rip.
Who can swim against the current the best?
You can hold their breath.
We'll try not to drown today in this episode, but no promises, of course. Ali, let's just dive straight into it. Talk to me about the 2 games you've played this week.
Okay, so unfortunately I didn't get to dive into Apex this week. My goal to actually go pro is so far not going well. Yeah, well, what can you do, man? It's a competitive network out there. I'm seeing some of the scorecards that people are busting out on Apex, and I've got no chance. I ain't catching up.
There are kills. Like, I played this week for 2 hours with my cousin, and there were scorecards like kills in the thousands, and I felt like I'd been left behind.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna quit now.
Yeah.
Quit while I'm behind.
I remember jumping into a match as, like, you know how it starts off, it's like, these are your champions. And like each person in that team had at least 1,000 plus kills to their name on that character. And I just went, no, backed out of the game. To be fair, someone had already left. Yeah, uninstall. Someone had already left the team. So it was already like 2 of us. I'm sure the other person probably did the same. I apologize to whoever that was. Probably Big Booty Hunter 69XO. So what I have been playing is a game called The Way. It's remastered. It's a game on the Switch, which was originally, I think, released in 2016. It is your classic, like, I don't know if you've played it or if you know of it. There was this game called Another World, where it's like this kind of cinematic, kind of sci-fi adventure game with a lot of like clicking here, kind of environmental puzzles to get you to, point A, point B. I actually stumbled upon it because I'm a tight ass and I always venture into the special deals section of the Nintendo Switch. I was going to play Ape Escape, but I've seen some people... is it Ape Escape? Is that what it's called? It's the new one from Devolver Digital. But I saw some... Is it Devolver Digital?
New one?
Yeah.
Ape Escape's an old PlayStation game.
Okay, yeah, no, there was an Ape Escape. What's it called? It's called Ape something. People are probably going to get really angry at me. People are raving about it. It's on the Switch. I think it's also on PC. And it's got like this kind of background jazz kind of music going on. And you're essentially just this monkey going absolute ham and killing people trying to get out of a building. And you go level by level. But it looks crazy.
It's called Ape Out.
Ape Out, there we go.
Yeah.
People were raving about it, talking about playing it on the Switch, and I thought, I'll have a look at it. it's about 20 something Oz, like Australian dollars, and I saw someone play it, and my mind already kind of, was weighing up whether it was worth it or not. So I backed away from there, went into my tight ass section. So I went into the sales section, and I saw this game, The Way, and straight away it reminded me of Another World, which was a Mega Drive game, Master System Mega Drive game from way back that I remember, and it was like $1. So
wow.
Yeah, I know, right? Right up my
really
alley. Downloaded it, and it is exactly like Another World. Kind of that rotoscope animation, that kind of style, and it starts off with you unburying your wife. So like this guy, the scientist, his missus has died, and he's trying to bring her back. So he's looking into ancient technology to bring her back. So it's that kind of story, that kind of theme, and oh my god, it is very dependent on its auto save, so you can't save. So
yeah,
it's destroying me. I completely forgot how soul crushing those kind of save points are in old games, where you don't get to choose where you save last. And
I can totally jump in on that when I start talking about one of the games I played this week. Yeah, autosave has changed gaming in a way that I feel like we don't really appreciate anymore, because we didn't grow up with autosave. So older games are very brutal.
Yeah,
very
so
brutal.
When they've got their own, when the game has its own save points and you can't choose that where you want to save, I didn't realize how much I took that for granted. Like, I played Sonic recently, and that obviously is a punish in its own point. But like these kind of adventure games where you're solving puzzles, you're trying to get from point A to point B, and it's very like subsections are very like slow and strategic, and all you need is that one little fuck up, and you're back to the start. And it's like, oh lord. But design wise, it's gorgeous.
I've heard it is pretty sad. Like the introduction part is quite sad. I was watching a video of it once where your character carries his dead wife's body.
That's how it starts its game. That's how it starts.
Yeah, that's how you start. So, have you finished it yet? Did you get
God,
all the way
no.
through?
Like literally only got it this week.
Okay.
But I'm gonna be freaking honest. I'm a bloody struggle street with this like whole like puzzle solving and not getting like getting spotted. But it was really nice to go back to like Another World was the game as a kid that I never finished from like start to finish, because it was a struggle. And then it was only like, I think I said it on the podcast, it was only a few years back where they released it on PC, or I think it was PC, and I finished it. And it was like, it was such a like small like achievement to like young Allie, who probably swore up a storm because she couldn't get past certain levels in that game. So this is really, really nostalgic playing this game. So it was random find, and yeah.
I have to say, you don't understand how much, how close what you just said it was to what I did this week. I'm absolutely going to jump into it in a moment, but like there are so many things that you just said that
Get into it.
are consistent. No.
We can break the formula. Brendan's not here.
Yeah, well, let's break it. Let's break it.
What
if we did news first, game second? Do you think you'd be mad?
Oh yeah. I think the audience would know what hit them. Would you guys? No.
So, all right, do you rate it as far as you've been playing it?
So far, so good. Obviously, this is a very, very, niche section of people. Like, if you want, like, smooth, free-flowing, kind of whimsical puzzle solving, like, I don't know, like some of the platformers that have been out lately, it's not like that. It's not as smooth moving. It's like you are going to hit a lot of, like, mental brick walls and everything like that. But if you used to play those games back then, like back in the 90s, I think is roughly like probably a good idea of when these games were popular. Sci-fi, dramatic, cinematic kind of storylines, then I reckon give it a go. It's cheap now. It's like I said, $1 or something. So what do you got to lose?
Yeah, $1. That's a coffee at 7-Eleven. $1 is totally achievable. Like if you stole $1 from your parents, they would never know.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So don't steal from your parents unless you really need that $1 though.
Well, there's nothing kids can buy that's $1 nowadays.
The Way. They can buy The Way remastered.
Well, they can buy the game, yeah.
Or coffee at 7-Eleven, whatever you want to do. Yeah. You also played Rise of Nations.
Yeah. Oh boy, that is a cruel mistress, but I'm so addicted to that damn game. Like, the problem was I grew up with Age of Empires, and that's all I knew. Like, It was Age of Empires or nothing, except for Age of Mythology. But Rise of Nations has only been introduced to me recently, and I never thought a game like this would just hit me so hard as it has. Like, I don't know how many times I play it, and I'm not good at it. I'm not bad. I don't lose, but I'm not great. I'm not the leading nation. I'm that side nation that builds up its economy, and then when its friend is going to war, they go, "Oh, okay, I could send some people. Yeah,
I'm around.
That's all right. I'm around. I can help out. Like, I'm too busy, being infrastructure master with roads that are in line and perfectly placed farms and having a business sector and a military sector. But yeah, I can send some people. I'm always the leader on the wealth chart.
Is that just a measurement of how much you've accumulated, or is that like how much you've got ready to go?
Accumulated, and at the end, you just see my wealth just like, it's like, I just...
You're a shrewd leader.
I guess I
yeah, that's good. That's not a bad quality, obviously. Means you can spend more on their mummies.
Yeah.
I've never played this game. It does look
really?
exactly like Age of Empires 2, though.
And the thing is that as much as I loved Age of Empires, it will always have a soft spot in my heart. Rise of Nations, you actually go beyond, modern age. Like, you start doing nuclear warheads and all these other kind of, your little carts, horse and carts turn into, trucks. And it's so sad because if someone's behind, they're walking around on camels and you've got a truck just, driving past them. You could shoot a tank, a full scale military tank at a poor man in his little cart with a little cannon on the end of it.
This kind of sounds fun.
It's a lot of fun.
It sounds fun in a dumb kind of way.
It is. Well, yeah. I mean, it's nothing new. It's very much of the old stuff, but by golly, is it fun.
But the AOE2 formula is so good, where it's it sounds exactly the same. It sounds you're just building up through ages. The ages get more advanced. Is that fair?
That's exactly it.
Randomly generated maps with resources just dispersed throughout, and you've just got to find your way through it. Yeah, exactly
right. There are the very minor changes that I had to get used to being stuck in an Age of Empires state of mind, but I'll throw that away just to get to that level where people are getting nuclear bombed while they're trying to build a temple.
Oh my god.
I know, it just sounded really sinister. Lots of fun. I recommend it. If you were an Age of Empires person and strictly that, go check out Rise of Nations just to go back to the past but try something new.
What is do you know what it's costing at the moment? It's an old game. It's 2005, I think, maybe even 2003.
But I think it actually sits on that stupid price point where they're a bit stubborn. I think it still sits roughly around the $20 mark. So it's probably one of those things to get on sale, winter sale, summer sale.
2003. It is 2003.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, it's scores pretty well though. Cool. I might get it. I have AOE2 HD, and I have that, yeah. I was going through my Steam games this week, and I was looking at what I felt like playing, and that was there, and I was definitely interested. I don't know what it is. I was never as good at AOE2 as I was at other RTSs, and that has like a huge impact on me wanting to play it. Like AoE 2 specifically, I'd get railed by everything. Like my computer, like my friends when we'd play local games, and then also when I'd play AI, the AI would also just romp me. So
No, see, I could always beat AI. It was my friends that always destroyed me because I guess AI has that certain, like, same practice kind of thing that they always do, whereas friends are much more aggressive. And the way I play, and like StarCraft, oh my god, I would get destroyed because I would sit there, nest myself in, build my defenses first, and then, like, although I could hold everyone off, I just never had enough resources to build up the army because I was too busy defending my friggin' base.
I was the opposite. Blizzard RTSs, I was always, like, great at. Like, really good. Not, like, pro, but very competitive.
God damn.
Yeah, but just could never crack Age of Empires or Age of Mythology. But I like the look of this game. We should give it a crack.
Definitely.
Yeah, we've got a few on the list. We've got Hyper Jam to do, still.
Yeah, Hyper Jam's there to do.
And
There's a round of Apex that we should probably get on the... I was going to say get in the canister, but that's really old Phil too.
You know what's interesting about that, actually? I accidentally this morning went to Twitch, like, I think I was trying to type in another URL and it went to Twitch. But as soon as it was there, I was like, I wonder if Apex is still number one. No, it's not number one for viewers at the moment.
What is Overwatch?
No, League of Legends and Overwatch are the two highest, I think, at the time. There must be some kind of Overwatch event happening.
Overwatch League has just started, yeah.
Yeah. But League of Legends, like, I actually think, power to these guys. These guys have been around forever, and they are always, like, if they're not first, they're second. Like, Fortnite or Apex or whatever it might be could be first, but they are always, like, second. With a solid 200,000.
I don't get it. I need to obviously look into it more. Have I played it? I don't think I have.
You haven't played League of Legends?
I don't think so. I played Smite. I think that was my attempt at that kind of, you know.
It's kind of like you've got to do it at least for like a week. You know what I mean? Like you've got to just kind of play enough to kind of get behind the meta a little bit.
Yeah.
And then once you understand it, you could probably let it go. But I
haven't heard great things for noobs for like the league. Just saying.
Yeah. For me, it's like a bad addiction. Every now and then, I'll just get a craving, and I'll just want to play some League of Legends. I've been strong though. I've fought the addiction hard for a long time.
We're really proud of you, Sam.
Thanks, man. Just on League of Legends news, actually, while we're talking about it, Kale and Morgana are getting an update. I read that last night. Quality of life changes to the characters. So if you're a League of Legends player, you can expect that on its way in a couple of weeks. But just go back to the Twitch thing. Apex is like 5th. Past Overwatch and past Fortnite. Fortnite's actually got more for the first time that I've seen in a while. Maybe that's been the case for a little while, but since its launch, I've just noticed that Apex has obviously just kind of dominated Twitch every time I've jumped on.
So it should.
Yeah, should it? I don't know. Wait, Apex or Fortnite?
Apex. Apex should be on top.
I don't know. Maybe just a new game mode entirely, like a new game genre entirely instead of battle royales, like something else. Let's get something else. Yeah,
we've got to come up with whatever that is, the new battle royale. Something to take over it.
What if it was a game where, and I'm bad at improv, I'm not good at this kind of off the cuff stuff, but what if it was a game where you make a character that is yourself and you have to then go out and find someone who looks as close to you as possible in a huge MMO, and it's called Twins, and whoever's got the highest possible like comparison, whoever that is, they win the match.
Maybe we could call it like doppelgangers.
Doppelgangsters.
Yeah, doppelgangsters or doppelgangers. So because you want to create a gang of people that look like you.
And then you go out and kill everyone else. So you have first 5 minutes, find the people that look... This is starting to sound like racial genocide. We should probably stop. I was really going to go...
20 minutes and we've turned the podcast dark. Awesome. That's a new record.
I was really going to start to go down the thing of like because I'm just obviously talking about people who look exactly the same as you, and then it's starting to sound like racial genocide. All right, so what did I play this week? So you were talking about how you were playing a game, and like how Way Out. You were talking about how Way Out was
The Way.
No, A Way Out was the game that you played as a kid and you finished it.
Oh no, that's Another World.
Another World, sorry, that's the game.
Yeah.
You're talking about how Another World was a game that you played as a kid but never finished. Then you finished, it was a huge achievement. Well, I had a similar experience this week. Final Fantasy VIII was the first Final Fantasy game that I ever played and that I ever purchased. And I got it when I was very, very young. Didn't understand any of the complex mechanics in the game when I first purchased it. I've gone back to it several times as a teenager and an adult, and I've had plenty of run-throughs of it, and I always get to 95% completed in the story, and then just that last 5%, I'm just kind of like, I'm a bit bored. Don't ask me what the hell that is. That like will make you play 50 hours of game and not just do like the last 5 or 10. Like, I don't know what that instinct is in me, but I never actually finished this game. I've seen the last 10% or parts of it. I've seen like the final boss fight and stuff, and I know how the story ends. And I've always just kind of been like, that's enough. Like, I don't need to go through again. I just had an itch to play it again this week, and I decided to see where I was up to. Turns out I was kind of at that 85-90% mark on my current save from years ago.
Yeah.
I thought, all right, I'm just going to do this. So I went ham on it. I put about 20 hours into it this week. Got all of the summons, the Guardian forces. Had a crack at the final boss fight several times, and then this is also touching back on where autosave sucks. Final boss fight in Final Fantasy VIII can go for about 20 minutes, and it's in 4 phases, and it's like, it doesn't matter how strong your characters are, the way the fight mechanics work, your whole party can die. It's not relative to how much you do in damage or how much hits you can take. There are just spells that will kill you, and if you don't revive fast enough, you guys will just fade away. So I was, for a full day, like I think from about 9 to maybe 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, I was just doing this boss fight. Sounds very dumb, but I was just doing this, like this last part of the castle, Ultima Sea's castle in the boss fight, and I was yelling like a motherfucker into my computer screen the whole day, because I got so close so many times, and I just kept getting brutalized by this boss. But I ended up winning. I ended up overcoming, finally finished the game. Huge achievement. Can tick that off the bucket list. Now all I have is like The Last of Us. And
You and me both.
There's probably a couple of others. Like, I don't think I really finished The Witcher 3, which I could probably go back and do. Now I've just got those to get through. I don't know. Jono, I feel like Jono keeps track more than me of these things. So Jono, let me know what else I'm missing there. Just on Final Fantasy VIII though, it's such a beautiful game. I really had to go further into the mechanics to, I guess, optimize my party than I've ever done before. And it's got a really complex sort of leveling system. Levels don't mean shit, so your characters do level up, but that doesn't mean anything. What you can do in this game though to power up your characters is you can assign magic to attributes.
Okay.
Probably doesn't make a lot of sense on the face of it, but you go around the whole world collecting magic all game, like from all different points. You can collect it from monsters, you can collect it from like little nodes around the maps. And then you assign those to attributes. So you can assign like your fire to your strength stat, and that boosts it. And so you have to play around with all the magic around the attributes to really optimize how strong and tough your characters are. And it's just a fun way to level up and to strategize around battles and to really consider like what you need for a fight. There are some fights where you need to be able to take hits, because if you can't take hits, you're not going to be able to stand up to big amounts of damage. Other fights, elements are more of a thing. So it's the rock, scissors, paper of fire beats ice and earth beats arrow or whatever. Is that the case? I think that is the case. Anyway, I really love this game. I love the story as well. I think Final Fantasy VIII is fantastic. It's probably between $20 and $35 on Steam at the moment. I'm pretty sure. I know some of those titles are like $15 and some of them are a bit more expensive because of just how popular they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, Final Fantasy VIII, get on to it.
This was my first. That was my first Final Fantasy too. It was on a PC demo disc.
Really?
Yeah. So it starts off. It's essentially just a bit before the ballroom scene. Is that what it?
Yeah.
Like, is it a ballroom? The dance scene. And then you do, I think, one fight in it. And I just remember, is it Shiva? Is that the summon?
Shiva. You would have fought Ifrit, who's the fire guy. So you would have gone into the volcano and fought Ifrit.
I just remember that there's like
Shiva.
She was like my favorite, but then I hated how they kept on changing her throughout the years, and she just kept on looking worse and worse.
I don't know. I think she's alright. She's the one who surprisingly has kind of stayed the most consistent out of all of them. All the summons that get used. But anyway, the other thing I did this week, after having the couple of NPC boys on last week talking about Nuzlocke, and also it was Pokemon Day this week, and we'll talk about that in a moment, I decided I'm going to do a Nuzlocke challenge of my own. So I busted out the Nintendo DS and started playing Pokemon Soul Silver Nuzlocke. We didn't really go into detail around what Nuzlocke means last week, but just really quickly, a Nuzlocke's like a permadeath sort of way of playing Pokemon games. So if your Pokemon faints, like, it's dead. You can't revive it. You can't restore it at a Pokemon Center. You just have to like put it in a PC or release it and consider it gone. And the other thing as well is that you can only catch the first Pokemon you encounter on any new route. So whatever that first one is, that's your only opportunity. If you kill it, you don't get another chance on that route. You have to wait to the next one. It doesn't matter if you already have it or not. You also have to nickname them. And the idea behind that is that it makes it harder for you when they die. So like, it's a whole torture. It was actually started a long time ago by, I think the person's handle was Nuzlocke. And there's like a web comic about his run through of these games with these rules enforced. There are other rules you can do that are harder, like no Pokemon Centers or whatever, but I just did those 3 rules. So I got as far as 1 badge in before completely dying, and it was soul crushing because I think I was playing for about 4 hours and I died to the second gym battle in Silver, which is Bugsy. She's a bug type trainer. I was going off of, I know, pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
So I played a ton of the original Silver version, and the moves sets were different. And I remember specifically like Bugsy's Scyther having this is how much of the Pokechamp I am, right? So NATO, step up if you think you can top this. The Scyther in the original Pokemon Silver version had a move called Fury Cutter, which was the move that she gives you after you beat her. In this game, it's U-turn, which is a completely different move. And I was watching out for Fury Cutter, which does not do a lot of damage at the start, and easily you can just take out the Scyther. U-turn will knock you the fuck out. Like, absolutely blow away your whole party. So I had a Ghastly, I had a Hoot Hoot, and I had a Bayleaf, which is the evolved Chikorita starter. And all 3 of those guys just got absolutely pumped by Scyther. And they were my only 3 good ones. The rest were just kind of plebs. So as soon as the first one to go was like Ghastly, my heart broke immediately. Then the Hoot Hoot went, heart broke again. And then I was like, all right, I can still do this with Bayleaf. And then Bayleaf got one-shotted by U-turn, and that was it. So that's 3 hours of work down the drain.
Wow.
I was doing so well. You don't understand. Like, I was putting so much time into really training them to make them stronger so that I didn't have to like find myself. They were like 4 or 5 levels above all of these Pokemon I was fighting, and I still got pummeled by it.
It's because you didn't look after the other ones in your team. They could have helped you.
I had a Slowpoke that I was about to start training. Like, I was... Yeah, I know. I was really excited by that. There's a little cave in the second city you go to where you have to fight Team Rocket, and there's Slowpokes there, and I was super pumped about that. Anyway, no good. No bueno. I'm going to give it another crack because it was fun, believe it or not. But yeah, that was a shocking attempt. I think first one badge.
I just want to say how incredible it is that people were able to take just a base game with its own concept and everything like that, yet create this like Nuzlocke rule system, which just gives the game just a whole new replayability. I think that's pretty cool.
It's so much fun. It actually makes it so much harder as well. And there are rules you can add to it still, like you can't switch Pokemon out of battles, or you can't use items in fights. You can't use Pokemon centers in towns. It's items only. Like rules like that make it hardcore mode as fuck. Like try and find an old version of the game and give the Nuzlocke challenge a go. It's definitely not easy at all.
Sounds like a punish.
So we'll move into the news, but just before that, a little bit of housekeeping. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters for your contribution to the ongoing greatness of the 8-Bit Network. It is very much appreciated by all of us here at 8-Bit. If you would like to donate and receive some awesome awards from the team here at 8-Bit, then head on over to patreon.com/we-are8bit. And if you are one of our supporters, then episode 2 of the 8-Bit Cast is now up. Ali was on it, joined by Cruzy and Dane, to reflect on pop culture and technology of your younger years, talking about Nokia phones and whatnot.
Ringtones.
Custom-made ringtones, no doubt.
We really do.
If you're a Patreon supporter, you can access that right now. And if you are not one of our Patreon supporters, these episodes do come out weeks later. Episode 1 just went live for public consumption, and you can go ahead and subscribe to the 8-Bit Cast channel anywhere you find podcasts. That first episode was a Valentine's Day special with myself, Drew, and NATO. Certainly go ahead and give it a listen when you have a romantic moment in your life. The other thing I just wanted to, I guess, mention here now, a bit of a sadder note. Some good friends of ours, Michael and Tegan from the Reset podcast, are going on hiatus. This is going to be their last episode that's releasing this week, episode 123. They've been doing the Reset podcast for about as long as we've been doing the Hungry Gamers, and we've gotten to know them very well over the last few years. We've seen them at conventions. They've come up to Sydney for things. We've gone down to Melbourne for things. And they're also part of the AGPN, the Australasian Gaming Podcast Network, which is what we're a member of as well. Just wanted to say we absolutely love Michael and Tegan and Reset. We're going to also miss the shit out of their show. They're such good people. I always joke that their podcast is where I go to get my gaming news. And I say that because I actually am a very big fan of the work that they do. And I really do love their show. I think they're very, very clever, know what they're talking about. They have a huge love for games. I suspect that they're doing it now because Resident Evil 2 Remake and Kingdom Hearts 3 have dropped, so there's nothing else to really live for anymore. They've gotten everything they wanted out of the gaming world. No, look, they're really good. Absolute quality. I do hope that this is just hiatus and they'll come back sometime in the future as Reset Podcast or perhaps as something else. Only time will tell. But for the time being, thank you very much, Michael and Tegan. We do love you and we wish you all the best in the future. And if you haven't listened to any of their shows, you need to go over and check out Reset Podcast. It's just well worth your time. Cannot stress that enough. And now the news.
This week's news headlines.
Okay, so we have a bunch of little appetizers here, which is my attempt at appeasing Brendan using a food-based reference to talk about the
I know it kills you on the inside, Sam.
I hate it so much. You don't understand. So the first appetizer this week to do with Fortnite. So Fortnite have Season 8 coming out, and this season it comes with pirate camps. Cool. But more interestingly, it also comes with a couple of other things a couple of additional mechanics which we have not seen in the Fortnite universe before, but they do sound very, very familiar. They're introducing a ping system. And they're also introducing what's called second chance buses.
Well, there's reports of seeing them at this stage, so...
okay.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like someone likes Apex.
Yeah, sounds like someone who loves being sued might want to get sued themselves. It recently dropped with their Season 8. A lot of people were pointing out that there's now a lovely ping system where you can ping locations, ping items and such. They're saying it's not, it's not as great as Apex, but it's just uncanny that this system just only just got dropped now.
Yeah, look, you know what? To be totally fair, it shouldn't be a game-changing mechanic, but it was just so clever that Apex had it. And it's amazing how such a small thing can make communication that much easier for everyone. So I'm not surprised that that's going to be introduced in Fortnite. I just think it's funny if the reports about the second chance buses, these respawn points effectively, if that's also true, then I don't know. I think that's a bit too much on the nose. And also, is that the game that they really want to make? Like, is that what they want Fortnite to become? Something where you can just have second chances as well, like Apex, or is the, you're dead, you're out. I think that's kind of better. Do you ever stick around in Apex when you get killed? As soon as I'm down and
if I'm with randos,
I'm out.
Yeah, if I'm with randos, no. Yeah, I just leave politely. A lot of people say that have been talking about this, that whole meme where it's like, hey, can I copy your homework? Yeah, just change it a little. That meme's going around for this. But a lot of people have addressed that sometimes it's good just to have competitive nature in the gaming sphere. It encourages development, improvements, and, progressing forward kind of thing. And hey, we've said it here before. Let's keep Fortnite relevant so the kids have somewhere to go, so they stay away from Apex. I know that's very toxic to say, but I don't like hearing about how much people want to screw my mum. So
yeah, no, look,
I can only take that so much.
I do agree, and I do totally want the Fortnite kids to stay in Fortnite land. I think this is interesting because we look, I might be wrong, but I don't think we've ever really seen this kind of iterative updating of games in response to competition. Not quickly enough, not as quick as this. And so for Apex to come out a month ago and then for Fortnite to be introducing changes in direct response to the release of Apex, that to me is something that's it is a little bit gross, but it's also it's really fascinating to me at the same time that they can pull that off in such a short period of time.
Yeah, but it's you lived without it for so long. You just witnessed another company presented in their game and it being a success. It's amazing what you can push through when you pay attention.
And speaking of getting pushed through, also coming in Fortnite in Season 8 is a creative island, I think they call these things, or creative maps, for Weezer, the band from my childhood. They just released a new album called The Black Album, and to help promote it, they've partnered up with the lovely team at Fortnite Epic to have their own world or something. I don't understand this part of the game, but effectively there's a Weezer world, which is a theme park around Weezer. Sort of comes off of the back of Marshmello. Was that the guy's name?
Yeah, DJ Marshmello or whoever he is, yeah.
Yeah, having 10.5 million players sign in for a one-day event, which was a record-breaking event in gaming. So this now seems to be a bit of a new revenue stream for Epic. Obviously, they're going to get more. Anyone who wants to promote anything in game, just pay Epic enough. They'll build a world around it. You get all the kids involved. There was. How do you feel about this? Weezer are a good band. I liked Weezer.
I'm
not anti-Weezer.
I'm not anti-Weezer. I love Weezer. They're a great bunch. But I don't know. Like, first of all, bad timing, because obviously they were paying attention to how popular Fortnite was, and they're like, okay, yep, Fortnite's a thing. And this would have obviously been an arrangement in the works for a while. And literally they dropped this in Fortnite, and they're like, let's be honest, their key demographic of who would like Weezer has actually gone over to Apex. Like, the majority of us have, right? Like, we're over there now. So
yeah, I wonder if it's for us. I don't think it's for us, man.
Do you really think it's a hey, my fellow kids?
I think it is, man. I think it is. Like, why else would you go to Fortnite? Like, oh, look, again, I don't know this, but I would assume that the majority of people playing Fortnite are not people our age. They're people younger than us. People probably younger than 20 who don't know Weezer. And I think this is absolutely about Weezer engaging with a new audience that they don't already have. I don't need convincing. I still listen to Weezer.
Yeah. So you reckon it was strictly them just trying to reach out to the younger demographic, or let's just say an alternative demographic for anyone that is older that plays Fortnite still?
I think as a marketing tool to be using a video game to flog an album, this is a weird world we're living in now.
It is.
I could let the DJ Marshmallow thing go because that name means nothing to me. I have no idea who that person is. But Weezer is something. It's a touchstone from our youth. So
yeah, definitely.
This is something that I think is interesting. No doubt will be successful. There's just too many people bloody on Fortnite for this not to be somehow successful for them. But I don't know. Weird, cool. Weezer World. Check it out. Fortnite Season 8.
Trying to think what kind of game would be good for an album launch. And all I could think is like Sunset Overdrive. That's very Fortnite-y, so I'm gonna make that connection, but I don't know.
What's the card game, the music card game, where you just put things down and create beats and rhythms? Sammy Deej loves this game, I know. And the Reset guys love this game too. It's called... Oh, what's it called?
I don't remember that one.
I'm sorry, Sammy. Don't hate me. Do not hate me.
But we were talking about like how concerts are going into VR now anyhow, so... Yeah,
that's true.
Oh, the future.
It's a scary thing.
It's very scary.
AI coming for all of us. Maybe you want to wax fine on this next point. Destiny Season of the Drift is going to kick off on March 5. It's going to include some new content. Talk us through it.
So majority of this content is going to be linked to Gambit and the Drifter. So we are looking at Destiny, like Bungie, essentially listening to audiences and giving us private Gambit matches, which is a lot of what a lot of people have desperately cried for. So this is like free to everyone. Now, if you're a annual pass holder, they've actually introduced Gambit Prime, which is Gambit with allocated like positions. So you're essentially highlighting that you're going to look after one specific thing. You could be the collector, you can be the intruder that goes to the other side. And the other thing is that it's not like set. It's not like you have to be one and then that cancels it out. You can be an entire group of intruders. So and they've also incorporated new Gambit gear. So you can also highlight who you are. So you got like red, green, yellow, another color.
Is this all meant to be like pre-match information displayed for the team? So that you can see and assign. That's clever. That's good. They do that in, surprisingly they do that in League. Although the roles that you assign, or the roles you sort of volunteer to go into are fixed. And typically you can't have like all support or all mids or whatever. But it's just designed so that there's less fighting in match.
This actually, in my personal opinion, because also playing with randos, having this kind of like position thing highlighted is really good, because I know when I jump into a match, I personally know I ain't intruding because I ain't good at that shit. Someone else can take that job. If you're good at it, go for gold. I've only accidentally done it once because I was running past the portal and someone knocked me in. I'm like, oh shit. So... If you're in a team with people, a bunch of randoms, and everyone is saying, hey, I've got this covered, at least that's kind of communicated with each other. Then you look around, you're like, okay, I can see what you're in charge of. But yeah, in regards to intimidating the other team, like I could only imagine just like lining up and just seeing a row of intruders. I'm like, that's either going to be terrifying or very uncoordinated. So There's other things that are added to, new guns, new armor sets. I believe they're also bringing in some kind of like horde-based boss kind of primeval as well. But they've got a roadmap. They've got some videos dropped. So if you want to look into it, look at it now. I won't go into it anymore.
I've got to ask, how many hours on the reg are you putting into Destiny 2 at the moment? Is this
I
still
haven't
a
touched.
regular, or?
No, I haven't touched Destiny. I think I popped in for Valentine's Day. That was about it. But I loved Gambit, so there's a pretty good chance I might be coming back.
Cool. On favorite games within the 8-bit network, Tekken 7 also had some news this week. So on Thursday, February 28th, the Thursday that's just gone by, 2 characters became available. Of course, Julia Chang, who's beloved staple of the Tekken world. She's finally available to play. Has been missed sorely since the game launch, but ever since the announcement late last year, everyone's just been dying to give her a crack. She's just an absolutely fantastic character. And then a not so great one, Negan from The Walking Dead. Another sort of guest character, cross promotion with The Walking Dead. I'm not sure how Harada-san did this one, but made a deal.
Or why?
Yeah, why exactly? But it's just, again, it's the same as like Noctis and I forget the other guy's name. Like these guest characters bring in people who aren't into Tekken. Makes sense to me. Like, I'll always play Tekken. I don't care who's on the roster. I do care, but like I'll always play that game. And unless you're already kind of in it, it's hard to break into it. But this is a good way to bring people in. You get these guest characters in. You make their movesets super simple. You make their combos really easy to pull off. You make people feel good about playing them. And then you hope they stick around.
And then you crush them. And then you make them play against a pro and then destroy their dreams.
Crush their dreams. So that they're out now. I actually haven't given either of these characters a playthrough just yet. I will be giving it a crack next week, though. And I look forward to reporting back on how I feel about Negan.
Actually, I gotta tell you, I watched last night York Street Battles. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it on Twitch last night. Pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. Did you watch which game did you watch it?
It was Tekken.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, I was watching a bunch of Tekken.
Do you know the name who won? Was it a guy named Dion?
I didn't see the final. I think I was watching the top 5, and I think someone was called Alchemist. Another person was called something Box. So
yeah, those are the regulars. Box, Alchemist, Dion. Yeah, those 3 guys are pretty into it. They fly overseas to play Tekken.
Wow. It's just crazy seeing like professionals play. Because at first I'm like, they're not doing anything. And then next thing you know, like within just like one move set, they kill the other person. I'm like, how did it go from 0 to 100? Yeah, pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, they're pretty amazing. They're actually really amazing at it. I'll stop gushing. On other news though, and kind of really exciting news, EA tweeted this week that the first gameplay trailer for the new action-adventure Star Wars game's coming out. That's Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That's going to be available. It's going to drop, the trailer will drop on April 13th. So we'll get a first look at the game, see what it's like. I'm pretty excited. It's been a while since a good action-adventure in the Star Wars universe has come out.
Yeah.
Did you see that Battlefront 2 costs $5 at the moment?
No, really?
Battlefront 2 is $5 in Big W right now. $5 AUD, which is like $3 something American.
Maybe they're just... 2. Are they still... Is loot boxes still a thing for them? Or whatever the loot system was? The pay
They made their money, then changed it to be friendlier. And I just think after that, they're like, all right, we're good. We'll cash out at this point.
Oh, God.
My friend's actually bugging me to get it. I think I've got a copy of it on Xbox One. I need to play it on PlayStation with my mate, though. He really wants me to get it. And I kind of want to play it. They're fun. They are fun games. Yeah, for $5, I don't mind. I've done worse for less. Yeah.
Save that for an 8-bit cast.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get on to the bigger pieces of news this week. It has been a pretty funny week. First of all, Pokemon Sword and Shield got announced on Pokemon Day, which was Tuesday, I'm pretty sure, not Tuesday or Wednesday, one or the other. So this is the new core Pokemon title that's coming out on the Switch. It was announced in 2017, first in 2017. I'm pretty sure. Maybe 2018, early 2018. But it was announced a while ago that they were working on a core Pokemon game for the Switch that wasn't Pokemon Let's Go. And it looks pretty cool. Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's set in a world called Galar. It's based, or it's heavily influenced by England, by Britain.
Yeah, Victorian architecture kind of style.
Yeah. And we got a first look at the 3 starters, which are Grookey, the grass type, Scorbunny, the fire bunny, and Sobble, the little water lizard thing. There was a cool 3D announcement trailer which showed off the world itself, some of the areas that you can explore. It does look very detailed. It looks great as a Pokemon game. I couldn't quite tell from looking at it, are they going back to the old battle system? I think they are. They're dropping the Let's Go. It. Yeah, the fight to catch system. They're dropping the Let's Go sort of just throw a Pokeball at it thing and going back to their old school ways, which I am all in favor of. But I tell you what, looking at these 3 new starters, it's always weird. It's always weird seeing these new things. What do you think? Do you have a favorite?
Okay, so I've actually already been shunned by a lot of my friends in the community. Watching this announcement, I wasn't hyped. I watched it and I was like, eh. And then I saw these starter Pokemon. I'm like, okay. Like, I don't really feel the kind of cutesy attachment that a lot of people have been really clinging onto with some of these. I like that they went back to simpler designs. They kind of have been known to kind of like overcomplicate like their characters and just putting too much detail. So I like that they've simplified things. Grookey looks too much like the I've completely forgotten his name from I think maybe the season previous. And Sobble just looks sad, and Scorbunny, I'm kind of actually a bit off about how Scorbunny actually looks because Jessica Nigri just did a cosplay of it, and I've actually got that in my mind now, so that's kind of manipulating my decision choice right now. But for the most part, it does look like, you know, a much more improved, like, classic style, and they just keep on getting better and better and better on how they do these, like, traditional style Pokemon games. It does look like that they've they're not doing the Let's Go. It looks like you can actually fight random encounters. Kind of sad about not having a character follow you around. Dress up element. Shame.
I'm sure there'll still be dress up. There'll still be a dress up component. That's a bit of a staple. Yeah.
I know that you can dress up your character. Like, you can change your character's clothes for maybe environmental reasons. I don't know. They show you in the snow, in the rocks and everything. So.
No, they have like contests in the games. I haven't played all of them, so I don't know if it's, and a lot of the newer ones I've missed as well. But like, I do know you can add bows and things to your Pokemon. I just don't know if you see it in battle. Is the only thing.
Shame. That's what I loved about nothing like having my little mobster Pikachu fight in Let's Go. That was great. That was absolutely fantastic. Sword and Shield as well as the title. Obviously they were going down, like, you know, since it's, you know, kind of based UK-ish, they were obviously going for like knights and regalness, so Sword and Shield. They're going to start running out of things soon anyway. So.
I don't think so. They've done everything. They've done colours.
Pie and sausage roll.
Pokemon pie and Pokemon sausage roll. That's the new one.
Yeah.
No, I think they'll always have something to name it. The fun part, I think, between the announcements of Pokemon games and the actual releases, the fun part's always that no one knows what the evolutions of the starters will be. I
thought that got leaked.
No, well,
I know that there's been mockery ones, but I thought
there's always fan art. Yeah, there's always fan art that comes out.
There is always fan art.
I just came across another bit of fan art image. You know, like the start, like the title, how Pokemon Sword is like the blue sword, and Pokemon Shield's like the red shield behind it. There's Pokemon Gun, which is a green gun with the like little dragon head thing at the trigger. Cool. All right. Yeah. Look, I don't know. This looks cool. It's a new Pokemon game. It'll be much of the same, I'm sure. But they do just polish the shit out of these games as they go. They are fun games to play. Yeah. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing more Gen 8 Pokemon. Show me more. What also happened this week in like stunning fashion, THQ Nordic totally missed the memo.
THQ,
Austrian publisher THQ Nordic, Austrian publisher THQ Nordic. What do I say? THG?
It's THC, yeah. THG.
Yeah, because the Hungry Gamers. I'm just in autopilot saying THG. THQ Nordic, sorry.
We do not want to be related to this story.
We're not responsible, no. Publisher who is responsible for the Darksider series and countless other titles got into a lot of hot water this week. They decided that doing an Ask Me Anything would be a great idea, which sure, do an Ask Me Anything. Where are you going to do it? THQ Nordic, where are you going to do it? Oh, we're going to do it on 8chan. Huh. Okay. Cool. Let's see how that goes. Didn't go so well. Got absolutely harassed all the way through the whole thing. They realized it was not a great idea, and their PR and marketing guy Philip Brock released a statement on Twitter on Tuesday, realizing that it was not a great idea to use 8chan as the platform for other reasons because of all of the controversies around 8chan. He came out and said the immortal line, "I am terribly sorry for the short-sightedness of my decision and promise to be far more vigorous in my assessment of these activities in the future. This was not about being edgy. This blew up and I very much regret to have done it in the first place." Sorry, that's not the line that's immortal. The immortal line is, "I personally agreed to this AMA without doing my proper due diligence to understand the history and controversy of the site. I do not condone child pornography, white supremacy, or racism in any shape or form."
Good for you, Philip.
That's not what you want to say as the PR director of anything.
I just don't think you want to say that, having to say that as a human being. Like, that must have been a rough day for Mr. Brock, having to push that out. But seriously, like, is it a language barrier thing? Do you reckon, like...
Is it no.
Like, how do you just say yes to a website or doing an AMA without even going to the website?
Well, apparently they it's hard to really work out what happened, I think, behind closed doors, but apparently the arrangement was that the platform would hold back all of the sort of inflammatory comments and stuff. They'd be able to kind of remove those and make it a real clean-cut sort of AMA. What hasn't been mentioned in that little apology though, and like maybe I guess what's a bit more relevant to gamers is that 8chan was kind of the breeding pool, the spawning pool of Gamergate. A long time ago, all the gamer bros got up in arms and decided that women in gaming was not what was right, in inverted quotes or whatever, inverted commas or whatever the fucking bullshit toxic masculine reason for it was. And that was kind of like where all those guys all gravitated towards to just sort of hate and do really bad things like publish, like I know through that process, like Felicia Day, who was completely outspoken in the whole Gamergate issue, she had her personal address and details posted there. Just a real shit group of people on this website at that point in time, and also several points since. It's just, why would you go there? Why would you not know that? How would you not know that? That's
what I mean. It's just like at some point, someone like, did they get the request and just get told like, yeah, sure, we'd love to host that. Like, we can't do Reddit for some reason, so let's go jump on 8chan.
I couldn't actually find why they were doing the AMA either. I think the initial tweet announcing that they were going to do it was like, hey, we're doing an AMA on 8chan. no idea why. But hey, come and join us. Like, and I feel like that should have been to announce something. Like, it's the only reason you sort of do these kinds of public-facing events is to talk about something that's in the works and on its way. I couldn't quite work it out. Maybe someone else out there knows. But just absolute like brain fart moment.
Yeah, well, like you've pretty much tarnished anything for the future. Well, you know. So I'm trying to link. What was the other games that they released at THQ Nordic? Because I don't think it was.
They've done a ton. They've done a whole bunch. There's another one coming out this year. I forget the name of it, but it looks like.
Oh Lord, Sunset on Overdrive. Darksiders Sunset Overdrive. No, my game. Oh.
Your people.
My people now. Great, thanks guys. Way
Thanks,
to ruin Sunset Overdrive 2. Won't be getting that anytime soon.
Gamergate. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like, if this guy can get a job thinking that an Ask Me Anything on 8chan is a great idea, then there's hope for all of us, like, really. Like, if you're unemployed and you have at least 200 followers on, like, your Insta, you're probably in with a shot at this guy's job.
Oh,
so
100%.
Head over to THQ Nordic and go to their careers page and submit your application. I don't really have anything else to add to this, I guess. I just what a brain fart. What a great.
It was an absolute brain fart. They've removed some of the tweets because I know they were giving a shout out to some guy called Mark about the AMA. It was like, that's now a trending term on the internet. Hashtag shout out to Mark.
Hashtag oh hi Mark.
Oh hi Mark.
So that's it for the news for this week. And I think that's probably it for us as well. But before we go, a quick shout out to Audio Technica, the best in audio equipment out there. We have been on board from day one, and then they came on board with us from like day 50 something. And it's been a great, it's been a great partnership ever since. We love them. They have the best gear, the best street gear, streetwear. So for the best sounding audio equipment, do head on over to Audio Technica. Not a lot of people know this, but every day an Audio Technica employee waits outside of the office just to help an old person across the road. That's the kind of people that are behind this fantastic gear. So go right ahead and check them out. And of course, you can find all of our fantastic 8-bit podcasts on the 8-bit network. You can search using the hashtag, hashtag 8-bit collective. Or you can head on over to at We Are 8-bit for a bit of a list, or 8bit.net to check out the full list of podcasts on the network. Great podcasts like Dash Culture. Great podcasts like Forever Movie Boys. Did you know Forever Movie Boys, I don't think Brendan knows this, they've got this running gag on their show where Brendan's like their audio engineer. Like, they make out like he's actually in the room with them, and they always just bark orders at him. The other funny thing they do is they say, if you have any complaints, send it to brendan@8bit.net.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, if there is someone that they have to go to, the boss man has to be it. It's like, go straight to the manager. But
if you want to, for anything, I think they say, if you want to contact us, go to Brendan, send us an email, brendan@8bit.net. It's all in good fun.
Boys.
It's all tongue in cheek. But anyway, that's something funny that I forget and then listen to an episode of theirs and I'm like, oh, that's right, they take the piss out of Brendan. I don't think either of them have actually met Brendan face to face as well.
Yeah.
That's the other fun part.
Didn't we go to...
Actually, that's a lie. Yeah, no, Marche's met him. And Toby. Yeah, that's a lie. So you can find all of those shows at 8bit.net and the hashtags and ats I just said a moment ago. Outside of that, I think that's kind of it for us. Where can we find you, Ali?
You can find me everywhere at Miss Ali Hart.
And you can find me at Saleem TD. That is it for another week. Next week we'll be back full force. Brendan will be back in the reins, no doubt, with some notes on how we did. Am I getting a no? Is Brendan not back next week?
He's not back. He's back. I'm not back.
Ali's not back next week.
I will be within the wind. I'll be becoming Apex Pro.
Ali will be in the win. All right. Well, might be Brendan, me and someone else. Might be me and Brendan. I wouldn't mind like a one-on-one sort of like at each other style podcast where we attack each other. If that's something that you want to see, tweet at us. Let us know.
That sounds great.
Attack each other. That's so violent. It's so good. All right. That's it for this week. Thank you everyone for listening and much love.
Stay hungry.
You've been listening to The Hungry Gamers, one of many gaming and geek culture related podcasts from the 8-Bit Collective over on 8bit.net. Check out more episodes on your podcast service of choice. And while you're there, please be sure to rate and subscribe. Until next time, boys and girls, stay hungry.